The reason why you haven't got what you want or your desired reality is because you're conceptualizing or viewing God in the wrong way, or the universe, or the higher power, whichever one you want to call. Um, Let me explain this a little bit further. People start giving God, I'm going to use God because that's what I believe in, they start giving God a humanistic view, which is, in my opinion, actually wrong. This is very, very, very recently that I've actually decided that this technically isn't right. What happens is, because we're humans, we try to explain things that maybe are inexplainable with a human touch. Now, I've seen it in a lot of places, and the main place that I've actually seen it is, certain religious institutes or spiritual leaders, whatever you want to call it. They're talking about sacrifice often, and I'm going to just say that some of the things that they're saying, sometimes it seems like it potentially is to line their own pockets, not to be rude to anybody, but let's just say hypothetically, I've seen a few people say, you know, we're gonna, if you give money to God, or if you give money to this institution, then it'll be you'll get money back. If you're a good person, it'll come back to you, which to an extent might be true, and if you believe it's true, maybe it'll work. But I realize that God has everything. God made everything. God technically is everything. So if that's the case, then God doesn't actually need anything from you. Like, God's given you everything almost, which is it's a very interesting concept. Well, when I was early in my law of attraction career, I found a very good video. I actually can't find it now, otherwise I would have linked it in the description. But it was an older gentleman, and he was saying that God always says yes every single time. God always says yes, but the issue is that people don't know how to ask for what they want. Let me give you an example. Let's say you wanted more money. You turn around and you say, "Oh, I want more money. I need more money. I wish I had more money." And God says yes, and you start experiencing things where you experience circumstances where you wish you had more money or you need more money. It's the same for love. You say, "I need a partner," or "I wish I was more loved," or "I wish, whatever it is, um, I wish I was appreciated." And you start having more experiences where you start feeling like you're like, "Oh, I wish I was more appreciated. I wish I had more. Wish I had someone there." The other thing is that sometimes people aren't specific enough. Let's just say again, back to the "I want money," right? I want more money. Technically speaking, if you've had an extra pound or an extra euro or an extra dollar, you've got more money. So you've technically got what you asked for, but it's not really what you wanted, but you just don't know how to ask for it. Now, the reason why I think this is actually very important is because I believe that all manifestation is instant. Instant. It just happens literally overnight, straight away. It all happens. Or the seed is planted and it's growing, it's working. But I think when people put human concepts onto a power like God, I believe that it also comes with its limitations. You're essentially putting limits on something that maybe should be limitless. On top of that, externalizing the power and anything like begging or like wishful thinking, any of that sort of stuff, I think is some of the worst things that you can do for yourself, for your vibration, for your frequency, just for your own self-concept. It's not good at all. What I would challenge you to do is maybe question some of the beliefs that you had. Question where they came from. I actually realized that a lot of the beliefs that I had either came from someone in a generation prior to myself, or someone that's older than me accepting something as just true without questioning it, or it came from a fear concept that was preached to them by some sort of leader, whether it be religious or spiritual or other, that they may have seen on YouTube or in person. And I'm not saying that I know everything, because I might be completely wrong. But one thing is for sure is that when you're listening to these people, you're technically just taking their word for it because they have a title. There's no actual, like, there's no way to know if what they're saying is in alignment with God. Or, even better, maybe it is, but there's no way to know that their interpretation is correct for you. But yeah, that's it for today's video. We'll see you in the next one.